Hey, Bri, doesn't it suck that the boss is always over our shoulder when we're trying to talk?
Jay, he should be entertained by us. Let's get out of here and finish this conversation.
All right, as long as it's not work-related.
Jay B, how's it going?
I could not be better, buddy.
Well, I want to welcome everyone to the work-related podcast.
Of course I could be better, but we are related by work on Twitter, which I could be better at too.
Yeah, Jay, why aren't you putting up some tweets?
Because
You're a tweet machine.
I'm not a tweet machine. I'm just a twit.
Twit?
Yeah,
a Twitter.
I was but the mothers. I was thinking of my parents, and I was actually going through storage, and they had their own weird like Britishisms. So
Britishisms?
yeah,
What's
like
Britishisms?
like being called a twit or a cunt. Sorry to jump right out there, but yeah, I was thinking of that for whatever, fucking reminiscing about shit. But no, I have not been doing any posting on Twitter. Not been doing Lego. I don't even know why I even think of this before and talk Lego right away. You know what I've never watched was Lego Masters.
The hell's Lego Masters?
That TV show. It's like Fox. Like you've never even seen a commercial for it.
I've seen one episode. Me and Selena watched one episode. This is before we even started Lego.
So that's when we did too. And then we said, I don't want to watch this anymore.
So now do you think you would watch it with a different eye?
Well, my high wife, I came up that maybe 2 days ago. It might have been, it was yesterday. Fucking, my memory's so fucked. Yesterday, Friday Junior. We both were getting our sorrows drowned from watching the Leafs lose again. Mm-hmm. But you were right; they made it to the second round, so that's why I could be better if I didn't have to watch them lose yesterday. But I came back upstairs and she was all buzzing. She was just randomly watching shows, and she was like, oh, "Guess what?" All happy to show me something, and she was watching a. Oh fuck! It's like an Australian Lego Masters.
What? There's versions of this show.
Of course, this is out. I know. Again, just think about it for 1 second.
I didn't know it was that popular.
Well, just think about it. We didn't know Lego was popular,
true.
right? And now we're going to a convention soon. You know what I mean? Like we pay thousands of dollars for a fucking Lego. Are you kidding me? How popular? So we watched it. We watched it before Lego was in our lives. I like Will Arnett or whoever the host is. He's kind of funny. I was like, oh, that'll be creative. Let's watch Lego. And we watched one episode, and we must have been like, "Why would I watch this?
Yeah.
This is not like all right. It's kind of all right, but it's not must see TV."
So what's like I can't remember the premise of it because I don't remember when it first came out is when we watched it.
So this is what I'm saying. So Tammy was so enamored, she just randomly put on Discovery or something, and there was Australian Lego Masters, and she was like, and they were it was the semifinals. So like now I have such an appreciation of it.
Yeah.
These guys were like having to create. The Lego, the producers gave them a tree, right? And again, you just look at this Lego tree, right? That's as amazing as it is, with 3 or 4 big branches, and they had to create their own shit. One group created like this whole. Like fucking like it's so hard to describe, like this fucking these elf village being attacked by spiders.
What the hell,
dude? So anyway, Tammy was,
that sounds insane.
So, and there was other ones that were this bee family. This other one, oh dude, the best was a tiger just like lying with its paws on its arms, and it was like they could sell this tiger right now.
Really,
like 100. So yeah, like these people, these Lego masters are being judged. That's who the judges are. They're the Lego masters, but you and I will watch. So rewatch it. Like I don't know how you're gonna find it. So we forgot all about Lego Masters, even as we got into Lego. I come upstairs from smoking my fucking joint before I go in to watch TV up in our room, and she's like, "You gotta see this. You gotta see this." And I'm like, "Oh my god!" You know, I see the tiger. I'm like, "Why did we ever stop watching that?" Like, of course, this is must see TV now.
Yeah.
Like, so rewatch it, and so you see this. I don't know if it gets old or whatever. I think the hosts, I don't. But yeah, these guys are coming out of their brain with these ideas.
And they're just using the generic pieces.
So again, that's another. You get fucking. This is not a rude. I talk shit, but I'm not gonna get rude here. I got very excited when I saw their pantry. You know those cooking shows?
Yeah, they had everything.
Oh my dude.
Oh my goodness.
Look at you. I'm telling you, it's the same thing.
I have to watch it.
I know. Yeah, you don't have to watch the Australian one. For some reason, she was on, and it was we saw their semifinal. So it was like 4 people. They were all super creative. One got knocked out for the rest. So now they're into their final. So it's like, now I got to see who wins.
Yeah.
And so, but I was like, how did I not even put that together?
That's
You don't
crazy.
watch commercials, so you're forgiven.
Yeah.
I see commercials all the time. And so Lego Masters was just one of those things I never thought of.
You're just like, yeah.
And now
even
there's like
while you did it?
And now there's Australia. Of course not. I was just like learning how to get better at it.
Yeah.
You know, we had to like go, now we just do the kind of same thing. And yeah, the only other thing on Twitter I was that's nothing with Twitter, but is sports shit. So that's getting in the way of our Lego building now. I got to watch Jimmy Butler. I got to watch, I have to watch my Leafs.
Yeah.
I'm fucking cranky and irritable at work more than usual because I'm staying up. I'm trying to stay up late to watch this
For
shit.
disappointment.
Not all the time. I've been
Well, for the
my
Leafs.
bankroll. Yeah, my bankroll took a beating when the Leafs won. Remember, if I was telling you I was going up and up and up,
Yep.
and so then I went down. Not just because of the Leafs, but I had a couple of bad weekends. Your fucking F1 let me down last week.
Yeah, that was boring as shit.
Even you have to admit to that.
Oh, of course. It's just like watching a bad basketball game. Like, what the fuck was that?
So we're all over the place, not to divert, but was the lead up to the race? Because you even said last week that that's what you pay 100% attention to.
Yeah.
I was making fun of the youth under than you, the TikTok generation, how they watch sports now.
Yeah.
And you are kind of like that, but with only F1 you don't, right?
Yeah.
And so was the lead up to the race exciting? Were you hoping for a good, why was it so bad? Like, I don't know if you get technical like that.
I can get well, mostly street tracks.
Really.
I don't really like street tracks because there's no passing really. You get less passing on street tracks. Because the streets are typically small and shit.
You mean when you say, because like compared to NASCAR, they either drive in a oval built for racing, but every now and then they go on a street track. Like, they call it a road race.
Yeah.
Right? You understand? But most of them, they're like a self-contained track, right? Like Daytona has like a road race inside it and a big oval, right?
Yeah.
But when you say street, it's like the actual streets of Monaco, or like the Toronto Indy uses Lakeshore Road and shit.
Exactly.
So
exactly like that.
This was one of the few that isn't like it's a self-contained track, or is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And those are typically boring races. Is that what you mean?
I wouldn't say that they're boring, but there's less passing. There's less action. Like a lot of the freaking Monaco. You've heard of Monaco?
Yes.
Like that's notorious for not if basically where you qualify it is basically where you finish.
Or if your Ferrari breaks down.
Or if you're
That's what happened last year, right? And the poor fuck lives in Monaco.
Oh my god.
Right? Like
it
the Ferrari,
sucks.
Yeah, it sucks to be him.
It sucks.
It sucks more for me to be a Toronto boy watching my team lose. He's all right.
Yeah.
If I don't feel that, but I recognize that disappointment.
But yeah, like street tracks are typically more boring, but whatever. It's Miami this weekend.
Did you get a lot of, before we move on to Miami, did you get a lot out of the practice and qualifying? Did you get anything?
Because it was the first shootout, the whole first
I still don't understand
shootout thing. They basically made two separate races for points. It's basically a point hog, I guess, in viewership.
And are they doing that again in Miami?
Another one, not in Miami, but they're gonna do it like periodically.
Trials. Are they kind of trialing it? Or it's always going to be like a marquee thing in certain races?
Yeah, in certain races. You know the sprint race, how it just started?
Yeah, I understand that.
They do that every, 4 races or some shit like that?
So these are two different things we're talking about now?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that you were just misquoting the sprint race.
No,
I thought the sprint race was the same thing.
No, the sprint shootout. I don't know. It's a dumbass name.
And nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares.
So was that?
We don't even want it.
Was that easy? We're not talking about welders at work here. Don't get excited like me.
Sorry.
We don't. Obviously, we talk too much about everything. So was the lead up to last week's race good?
Yes, because it was so long.
Because it was
a
4
long
weeks
break,
in.
and I was like,
"Oh, that's
fuck.
another bullshit thing."
Yeah,
you go from 2 weeks in a row and 4 weeks in between.
Yeah,
and then make a big deal about your summer break.
Yeah,
right? Because that would have been more. That makes more sense to me.
I know. It's ridiculous.
Are you anticipating a better weekend in F1?
Yep.
Is this a street race?
Not really.
This is a made up they take a parking
race.
lot and make it a race course.
Yeah.
They put fake boats in the middle of the race.
They paint the floors.
I loved it.
I want to go to Miami track. That would be nice.
I've been to that stadium at least 3 times.
Yeah?
Yeah, speaking about disappointing the home fucking sports teams. I might curse. So yeah, my beloved Miami Dolphins play there, obviously. And so is it just too cheesy to appreciate? I thought it was cool. Tammy remembered the fake boats right away.
Yeah.
Right? And just like me, she's like,
I think it's a beautiful track. I think it looks so nice.
I do too.
Yeah.
And with the brand new celebrities, coming in.
Yeah.
I mean, your buddies Mike and Chuck, they hate this newness, these new fans, this new, raising the real estate prices of F1 fandom.
They do.
But you don't care.
No, I don't care. I don't care. It's like whatever. It's like now it's just becoming bigger, but I just don't want I just don't want so much of the change because now I already don't like the sprint shootout thing. It's all right. But like, are they going to continuously do dumb shit like that because they're starting to gain more part? You know how people like start to a pander.
Yeah, pandering's a good word. Yeah,
so just like I like what I've been seeing.
I don't know, and I'm forgive me because I'm just new to it and ruining your sport here. But if you're gonna have boring ass parades, it's what stopped me from watching F1 and why I would like it NASCAR, because you could say it's just a boring oval all the time, but if you're smart enough like you to like be a fan to watch you can see the intricacies of how, and you know what I mean, like these cars move, and then the rivals of the drivers, like that's obviously big.
I love that,
and that's what the show makes you appreciate too. But if you're gonna have a boring ass race almost every third or fourth time, why not have these extra shootouts?
Yeah, that's
make
true.
the weekend longer.
Maybe they are just
better, you know what I mean?
But I think part of what the drivers are talking about is they think it's, well, Verstappen specifically said that they don't need more races.
Well, because he's going to get his points anyway.
Yeah,
he's like me, not liking the change at work.
Yeah, exactly. But he says it's like, it's extra risk. Like, obviously you can die. You can die. People die in F1. Yeah. And so they're adding another race of people battling.
Because his car got
damaged. His car got damaged in the last one, in the sprint shootout. Was it sprint shootout? Or was the sprint? I don't know. But his car got damaged, and he's just like, fuck, like, this wasn't even the real race, and my car is broken, right?
You're not paying for any of those parts back.
He's not, but they have budget caps in F1 now.
Yeah, I like that. They need to make it more equal.
Yeah, because the disparity is huge.
And then the little things, even this year, like when I mean, do you like DRS? Do you like the little boost? It's like a turbo boost.
I do like DRS when the teams I like need it.
But in general, you don't want to just without DRS, the guys never going to they're not going to catch it. The concept of DRS.
Yes, I do like the concept. I think it's cool.
To get technical,
it's like freaking. It's 20 more kilometers.
Yeah, well, but Red Bull are better at DRS, so you just have to get better at it. It's like making a better nose cone.
But DRS is complicated,
of course. But just like making a better nose cone is complicated. I like so anyway. It fakes. Equality. You know what I mean? Like that's what the whole thing. That's why a Red Bull would more hate it. What? Or a traditionalist might hate it more. Yeah. But without it, it's not going to bring in a new fan.
Yeah, because it's and then and I think old fans should like it too, because like there's like stipulations, like you have to be like a second and a half behind the person to get DRS.
Yeah, that's a good concept. I don't know how they figured out what time. It's actually just a second.
Yeah, but it's actually very hard to get.
Yes,
and you have to do it at the zones. You can't be.
I like that too.
Once you get the detection zone, you have to be in that time, right? Otherwise, you can't use it.
They have to be within the time, and then they have like, depending on the size of the track, 2 or 3 zones.
2 or 3 zones, yeah. And there's 2 or 3, and those zones are detection zones at the beginning. So if you get detected at that time at the less than a second or whatever it is, then you can get it. But if you're like more than a second at that detection, then you don't get it.
100%. A lot of thought had to go into like where and how, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I've been trying to figure out.
They're the biggest nerds in the world.
Why would you pick this specific part of the track to do that? Like, I don't know.
1 second seems so rounded, like to be the actual good number.
Yeah.
But it's fair for as long as it's fair for everybody. You know what I mean? Like that's how it works. And where it comes is it's like, you make a better flap that does it. So it's interesting to hear that like the old established people doing it well don't like the change.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes me happy it makes me happy about me not liking change.
You, Jay.
No, we could go into a million things. So just to get onto a totally meaningless topic, not that we just weren't, but you like it. I like it. I could win money off it. I don't even. That's how I was talking about betting too. I lost money on F1.
Yeah,
hoping to make it back on this on there, and I made money with the Leafs losing last night. But I wanted to talk to you about Love Is Blind for random shit.
Love Is Blind, so finally.
No, we haven't talked. Brenton TV Talk is back on. Sorry to hear it, but it was in the zeitgeist or out there for the longest time. We made fun of it or not fun of it. We talked about it
and not watching it.
No, with that whole debacle of Netflix trying to do a live TV show.
Oh yeah, and everything was a disaster.
Yeah, and I was like, part of me was like, oh, it must have been a good season if they were thinking of how to do a live. And we talked about it more in like the technology of it, doing a live show and what else would you do live. And to be honest, it was a binge-worthy season. Mm-hmm. It was one of the better ones.
Yeah,
I don't know if you like.
Probably my favorite one that I've seen, even though I didn't see the one before this.
I only kind of I forget, so I can blame it on age and memory loss, but it's also the characters on the show. Mm-hmm. when fucking big, I'm not gonna. I'm ready to divert right away. So I don't remember last season's. I only remember kind of last season when they showed that Bartiz guy with his baby, like in a clip.
I didn't watch last season.
Okay, so you didn't remember that guy? Like fucking Nick Lachey's wife was going off about babies. They showed a dude with a baby from the show before. So anyway, I agree with you. I don't know if it's recency bias, but I did like the show more than last season's.
Yeah.
I think I actually like when that Indian chick left the guy at the altar at the fucking one of the, I guess the original one. There
Which
was
one?
Oh man, I don't remember his name, but he was an
This
arrogant.
season?
No. What like the past seasons?
Okay.
I'm just trying to compare it to.
Oh yeah, and they had the Indian wedding.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And then he dissed her fucking, or she dissed him at the altar.
And he was Indian too, but
Yeah.
he was like Americanized.
Yeah, he
Indian
was like a
type
preppy,
thing.
he had a Tesla. He was
yeah.
successful, but he thought he was all that. His questions were like
Deep. Wasn't his name Deep?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
She was boss at the end, but he was like, because you're not allowed to ask for race, or I guess you can ask whatever you want, right? But he was like, so if we were at like a music festival, would I be able to put you on my shoulders? Right? Like, trying to find out if they were fit or whatever. Like, so that was kind of iconic.
Oh my
that
God.
probably got them going,
Yeah.
right? Like, so, but just like you, I fell off. And like with Lego Masters, right? You know, you just fall off these shows. And so, whatever. I think it came with that live show. I guess that means that any news is good news or publicity, because I wasn't really even thinking about it till then.
Yeah, no, that probably was. Well, Selena brought it up, and she's like, "Are you gonna watch?" I was like, "Eh." But then when the whole live thing, I said, "Okay, yeah, you're right."
Me and Tammy were the same, and so she brought it up. Like, so anyway, you're right. I enjoyed watching. It was worth watching. If you haven't watched it yet, spoiler alerts are coming. But man, I don't even know where you want to start.
Okay, so which was your favorite couple?
I'm a softie. I like the couple that was great right away, like the black guy. Fuck, he has the hair. His brother is, and his dad was the sweetest guy in the world. With the big fat guy with the gray hair, and his brother with the fro. Like, hey, how do you like my hair?
Like that drummer from the Roots.
Oh my God, he does. That's exactly it. Oh my! And then he had a pick in his hair.
Yeah,
like everything about him was just classic. I hope he's blown up on fucking Twitter. Yeah. So it has to be him. He was like, I think the first to ask his girl. I'm
trying to remember his face though, but like I know who you're talking about.
Well, he had decent hair too. He had like, it was like, but yeah, fuck. I don't even know if I have it written down, but so who was your favorite couple?
I think they were probably my favorite couple as well.
Why? Because they have a happy story.
Black.
There were a lot of black people. You don't have to pick just one. Finally,
because their story just seemed. I think I liked the chemistry of them from the beginning, and I was just like, you know what, like shit, like they are just like working.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They had their little issues here and there that seemed more realistic, right? Like all the other people had like these random ass issues, like you're not man enough. You need to. We haven't even had sex yet because you're not aggressive. Like what the fuck? Like come on, bro. Like. I get it, but come on. Like.
Just if I could just speak candidly here, that's the least blackness of them. They kept it real. The couple that you said were the most black, or because they were black, that was real. Yeah. The other people were all on there for TV.
Yeah, it seemed like they put on a little bit.
And I don't know if that's like whatever stops you from the show, but yeah, they all had their own stupid. They had like okay, I don't even know how to go. They had, I guess They had a real good Mean Girls Club, or not good, but those girls were so bitchy, right? Like at first when I saw them making fun of the other
two girls,
yeah, the Irina, the cunt fucking with the black hair,
yeah,
and her actual blonde friend who I don't know their names, and I'm going to get it up. We'll remember them when we talk, but. When they were at the altar, she asked him to go, like the priest asked her to go first, and she said, "What did you say?" And so she knew he was going to say no and didn't want to get embarrassed. I think Tammy probably knew they weren't going to make it out there. She had her friend, which seemed like she was in love with her friend. Like, didn't want her to get married so badly. Yeah. She felt like she looked like she loved her.
Smiling and grinning.
Well, you've never needed the podcast studio more than for the audience to see your face right there. Classic, Bri.
Right.
So that was weird. So,
I really didn't even feel like they were. I didn't feel like she was like the whole time I thought she would have been the one to say no.
Because I'm bringing it into that bitchy girls club.
Yeah.
Because I realized like she was really accomplice of that other dark-haired girl.
Yeah, but I think more so editing showed them like I think
Well, I'm only
Mean
going
Girls. I know, but I think Mean Girls. I always have to cut things like when I watch it. I always have to cut it down a notch because I know it's not as bad as they're trying to make it.
You know how the hot dog's made.
Yeah, so we love hot dogs, don't we, Jay? And so when they came to, and this is just a quick skip, when they came to the reunion, it was like you could see how they weren't that aligned.
100%.
And even after that, you can see how she was just like, oh my God, like we really weren't on the same mindset. Yeah, she has a edge on her for sure, absolutely, but they weren't like that. Other one was more of like an immature mindset, and the other one was still here doing what the show was doing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes, that's not edited because it was live.
Yeah,
right. And so you're right. That's a good point. That showed it there. In hindsight, I agree. I fell for their relationship more.
I was like, these two are bitches.
I fell for it more in the thing. What do you think of the couple, like Bliss and the dude that picked? Like, so he picked her after.
I thought they were not gonna make it. Wait, Bliss and the dude.
So the one that was engaged to the dark-haired bitch.
Irene. That's Irina.
Irene. Good call.
Right?
We'll call her that from now on. And if you don't like the sound, and I don't know if you check the levels, you're the one not facing the fucking boundary.
I know. I have to look at you to talk, Jay.
That dare you. So what do you think of them? What do you think of that relationship? Because it's almost like a second choice.
It is almost like a second choice, but everybody makes mistakes. He made the wrong choice like an idiot.
I love Bliss.
Yeah, I think she was great.
If she's an actress, like I don't want to jump to the reunion, but I don't know if there was talk of people were actresses, like Kwame's sister.
Yeah,
she was like a superstar right away. Like, oh my God, I'm welling up. I need more of her.
Yeah,
like when she gave her the purse, when she came in there, and before they at the altar of the thing, and Tammy, we were talking, are they going to do it or not? I go, he's 100% saying yes, because he wouldn't have made his sister wouldn't have done that.
Oh, for sure.
He would have told his sister he wasn't going to do it.
Yeah, and
so that was we'll get to that Kwame stuff. So they're good, but Bliss and her mom. And Bliss in that situation. So I want them to work out so bad. That's the gayest thing I've ever said.
They have been working out, right?
I hope so. So that they would look good in the reunion too.
The reunion is a year after, so that's pretty long. But
true.
I think he needs a girl like her.
So he's like some
lawyer.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And he's a self-made guy.
Yeah.
He was was he the one that was like unsure of a rich girl's family like being accepting of him?
Yeah.
Right?
Wait.
Or no, is that somebody else?
That might have I think that was the one whose stripper mom. Was he the one with the stripper mom?
See, those two almost look the same.
Yeah. No, I think that.
Oh no, Bliss's dad
has money
and is a tough guy.
Yeah,
and so he was embarrassed. Like he wanted him to understand. Like, I'm not poor now, but I'm not. I didn't come from what you gave your daughter.
I think something they missed is that they must have talked about their families, and Bliss must have mentioned that she doesn't have a poor family type of thing, and maybe he started from a poor family. And that probably was part of his decision making. I remember when her dad first came, he had a Rolex on. I said to Slee, I said, "Oh, this guy has money for sure."
Oh, his whole attitude,
for sure, his attitude, everything. And you're like,
not to put any label on, but you can tell Bliss is used to the nicer things in life.
You can. She's not like maybe appearance wise and a little bit of like a bouginess, but she's not stuck up, right?
No. But you can tell when, even not just this show, but when they go to the families, you can see what kind of house they live in.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about the Indian couple. We knew that guy had a Tesla.
Oh my God.
We knew that he was like a vet. You know what I mean? Like you can tell. I don't think a lot of these people, not all of them, but I also think the other guy's more of her dad should get to, and again, he's protecting his daughter, respect he's a self-made man.
He should, but
at first he's going to be like, oh, my daughter's husband's like had a stripper mom. Like, no, I'm just
test his resolve though.
But then he'll learn once he like treats his daughter fine, he'll be like, oh, I should admire that he got himself out of that situation.
Yeah,
like it's not easy to fucking do.
Job. Yeah,
so I hope they do good. I like that.
I was not rooting for them. I was not rooting for them until the end, and the guy grew a beard. I was like, okay,
that's hilarious. You're so fun. Why would that be your fucking?
I don't know.
When he went and first saw her, because Bliss became more enjoyable to watch or root for after the pods. That's when he met her.
I think they should not have met. I think she should have wrote him off, man.
Well, then you don't hope they work out. So what do you
that's
think
why
about
I said I wasn't rooting
Oh, I
for
see.
them.
Oh.
I was not rooting for them, but I mean,
So I like them. So what do you think of I know like the Kwame and the fucking the white girl who made him dress up in the underwear and take the pictures. Like Kwame.
So Kwame was the ex-soccer player, right? That's him with the sister.
Yeah, ex-soccer player.
With the
Like,
sister and thing.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
So what do you like? Kwame's. I don't know how you don't root for him.
I like Kwame.
He could be a little bit more assertive.
Yeah.
He's a little bit like too quiet for quiet Kwame. I don't know what you.
Yeah.
But nothing wrong with him at all. I'm not too crazy about who he picked.
Sometimes, I mean, I think she was all right. It was kind of like a weird, but they worked. They were working.
True, they can work.
Yeah.
He might need her.
Yeah, she needs somebody who she can feel like she's
you know
the
what?
boss of.
No, I don't hate them for that. I just like him more than her. Like most of the other
Yeah,
couples, I like
for
equally.
sure.
I guess.
I liked him way more than her. Sometimes I wish he would shut up and stop talking.
this is what I mean. He's not assertive.
cringy. I was like, oh, don't say that. Why are you saying that? And I during the reunion, I saw him talking, and she was like putting his hand on her arm, like, oh, that's the cue to shut up, man. But
Oh
you
yeah,
keep
maybe that's
going.
he's really good at the long game.
Yeah. So I was like, but I liked him. I thought he was good. I hope they worked out. And yeah, I hope they do. I actually think they will probably work out.
I do too.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're just being optimistic here. Like all of them can't work out.
No.
Statistically, you know. What
I'm
I mean?
surprised this many made it to
Well,
the year reunion.
Fucking Nick Lachey's wife was going off about nobody's had a baby yet or do whatever. So maybe they all don't work out.
1 year in, you want them to all have babies? Like, shut up. Like, shut up.
She was so annoying.
I
And
know.
she got the most annoying when they talked about the word, like the last couple, like the one with the whole gender thing going on. The one that, like, I'm not blaming her for not liking the guy. You know what I mean? Like,
Are we talking about the black guy and the?
They're
Was she
black.
Spanish? She was
No,
like
well, she was
because I
half.
heard her
She-
say
sorry, I
another.
don't-
I know
she
her
was-
say another language. She said some words from. I think she said some Spanish words.
we should have Googled who these people were and like had
Yeah,
their names
we
going.
were so underprepared.
Where's our AI fucking producer?
I know. Come on.
Studio? What?
But yeah, I didn't like him at all, to be honest.
I get it. Like her points were valid, but yeah. So I don't blame her either.
Yeah,
I really don't. But by the time they got, I don't even know how you want to go through their whole. That was one of the more produced parts. Obviously, it's fun when they bring back other people from the pods for these
Yeah.
parties, like these cocktail parties, and then you get to see Josh, and then you get to see this, and then somebody inevitably fucks up. Right, and then they flirts too much by the pool or whatever
Yeah.
they do, right? And so
Yeah,
this other guy
yeah.
comes in strong and gets hammered at this party, right? He was hammered as much as I know I'm going to be later tonight. But
yeah.
I don't know
Not
about
me.
you.
No, maybe.
Hey,
No, tobogganing.
maybe.
Tobogganing.
Talk about that episode 82 tomorrow. You got people coming.
Yep.
Have you used the new barbecue yet? Are you using the new
I
barbecue
did.
tomorrow?
I made
No
hot
way.
dogs.
Fuck off.
I did.
You
I
liar.
I made hot dogs.
You fucking, why did we not lead with that? God damn, we're going to get turned on. Fucking change. Never mind. We'll talk about that later. So I don't blame her either, but when they had the reunion, like there was all of this. I mean, I can say all the words. It doesn't matter. But they had these hints. So she was calling him less of a man on the show for not like being more assertive. The odd thing, I'm going to put myself in his shoes for a minute. Like she had no attraction to him at all.
Yeah.
And so that's just an excuse. He's not going to be assertive because I don't think he thinks it's going to be reciprocated.
Yeah. And that's like one of the biggest things. Like she's saying she wants him to be assertive, but she has to do her part too.
That's
you
what
know
I'm
what
trying
I
to say.
mean?
I don't
Like
she's
you can't,
right.
You can't. She is right, but she can't complain if she like. What kind of a girl can't get a man to be assertive
Yes.
without saying it? Like
Yes.
that's ridiculous. Like we're pretty simple creatures.
I think it was never going to get like, yeah, she wasn't inviting the assertiveness.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and she never had those come hither eyes.
Yeah,
or anything like that. Right. And so
exactly.
I don't blame him for that. But, and so that was just the edit of, you know what I mean? Like what she thinks of him. And then this other guy comes in who's like just half of a man better than him. And, but
he's a
he
UFC
doesn't-
fighter and
but
shit.
he doesn't get to, yes. Yeah. You see his ear. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Right. Like he likes rolling around with men more than others.
Well,
I mean, he might not even like beer. I don't know what these people are hanging out with. Oh, you like that, eh? And
yeah, you might not. But you know, he said, did you see how he said he got too drunk because he was cutting weight for a fight?
No.
He said that.
Oh, I thought he admitted, you know what? No, I didn't catch that. I
Yeah,
thought
he
just
said
like,
he was
oh, I
cutting weight for a
nervous.
fight. And so he had a little bit of alcohol and then he
And
It
to be
was too
honest, let's
much.
give them thrift. They're still together apparently too. So that's who she
Yeah.
might need. Some
Yeah.
fucking macho bullshit kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
Who's like secretly a non-beer drinker.
Yeah.
And has and so we have this fucking situation. But it all came out that they were dragging each other on Twitter.
Yeah.
Right? This is, I think, how the whole conversation, why we started this in the beginning with our Twitter talk, non-Twitter talk. And so Nick Lachey's wife, again, I'll call her real
Oh
name,
my God.
was like, okay, we can't say the word,
Why?
and but don't keep implying the word.
Just say it though. You're on Netflix, number one.
That's
it's not
true.
like you're really censored
But can't you say that word in conversation?
that you're gay.
No,
That you're-
I think she called
used
him.
the F word.
I think she called him a faggot,
yeah.
right? And I get why that's a harder word to say than all the people called me it back in my day.
Yeah, but the thing is, they said this is when she said she knew it was over, right? Is that what they were talking about?
I don't know.
She said they had this little interaction and she called him that, but then he made that he alluded to the fact that she has a strong jawline.
So this is the second part of the whole.
Yeah, and I was gonna say you can't use that because that's just fair game. If you get hit back from punching somebody, you can't complain about the retaliation.
Oh, so I never found that. So I felt both were on an equal playing field.
Yeah.
Of calling so I didn't think anybody was trying to have a position that they were called a worse name.
No, but she said that that's when she knew it was done.
Well, yeah, but again, she was
why?
just looking for a reason. No,
yeah,
no.
I know you
No,
said.
no, no,
I
but-
know she was looking for a reason, but don't put that out there.
I'll get it.
That
Well,
you're
look, she's
attacking
on
a guy's-
she's a TV whore.
For sure, you're attacking a guy's character when
Yeah.
realistically you were never attracted, like you said from the beginning. From the beginning.
Yeah.
So yeah, he gave you a nice hit back you weren't expecting because he wasn't aggressive. He said, "Yeah, you have a strong jawline, so maybe I am."
Yeah, and that's right. And then but I also think he probably, because she said he called her a transvestite.
She didn't
So I
say
think
the
he-
word. She said he said something about my jawline. That's
Well,
what she
I think
said.
so. Whatever. That was it. Came. I got more upset with her like dancing around like she said it like 5 times without
Yeah.
saying the words.
Yeah,
Right. And I get it, but just
be more aggressive.
she
Say
was
the
using
word.
it more. Yes, or stop bringing it
Be
up 5
assertive.
times.
Be assertive.
And I understand words. Words have power, and you shouldn't say them. But in a conversation, it should be said. I don't even want. This is the last thing I want to like. Even like the N word is not a word you're going to hear me say.
Yeah.
The only time you listen to your other podcast, watch your other podcast, you guys can say it all you want.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not a thing.
Throw
But,
it like Skittles.
but you say those, as soon as you say N word, everybody knows the rest of the word.
Yeah.
Right. So you're basically saying the word. I think the word should be sung if it's on a song, or if you want to say it in a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But I more think it shouldn't be said.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If I have to have 5%, like it could be said like the word faggot or transvestite or tranny.
Yeah.
Right. I say all the other, even whatever other words, but in the conversation, if you're going to be on Netflix, just say it.
Yeah.
Make that whole conversation. They were trying to have a real conversation and just say it.
Yeah.
So that's what made me hate Nick Lachey's wife more.
Yeah. She's
in that
very
whole
annoying.
conversation.
I think she's a horrible interviewer.
So, I mean, like whatever.
If she ever gets her own show, like a TED Talk.
She was on, when I first seen her, it was like, I don't know what she did before, she used to host Wipeout. Remember Wipeout?
Oh yeah, she did host Wipeout.
There was a
didn't
better
she?
looking girl before she did it.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if it was vice versa, but then she wasn't always the
Goddamn,
host
she
of-
should have stuck to that.
That was so, but I like the whole storyline. I think I said I got off topic more and tried to make it serious into the fact that it was just a failed relationship and they weren't right for each other.
Yeah.
But she just tried to make it more of a thing, right? Like bringing up these words on Twitter and you never, didn't
And
like
leave
it.
text messages.
Yeah, like why just like take it down? If you're going to take it down that road, just fully take it down the road.
Yeah.
But like again, that's like 4 couples that had a good storyline.
Yeah.
4 or 5. So it was a pretty good season.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was good. I enjoyed it. I think like I said, I'm rooting for Kwame.
And I don't know if they ever go back on reunion shows or whatever. We when we ever first talked about this show, it's a decent social experiment,
Yeah.
right?
How do you Oh yeah, I think we already talked about this, comparing this to the Ultimatum. This show's way better than the Ultimatum.
Yes, I agree. I think in our she hates when I say this. The highfalutin ways we like break down why we like the shows. Right?
Yeah.
And they're all social experiments.
Yeah.
I was trying to compare it to like a Big Brother. We can't talk this detail about Big Brother. we should only talk about TV, eh, Brenton?
Yeah.
Right? Like, we can go back to that anytime now, but we're on different TV schedules now. What do you think of the social experiment wise still? Like, I think if the people are dedicated enough to it, it still works. So I dig it. And like,
Is
it more the experiment or the personalities that were on the show?
I think it's more I like the experiment more.
Yeah.
I think the having them in the pot, you still, no matter, even though we think the show is produced, it still has that essence of this. There has to be some genuine aspects to it because you really can't see the person, right? You really do. I read articles about how they have to pay for, some of the couples have to pay for a lot of this stuff. So for them to get married, it's not all free.
Really?
Right?
No
So
way.
they pay for like the basic, like the production company pays for like the basic stuff. Netflix pay for the basic stuff, but anything you want more than that in the wedding, you have to pay.
Like, so if you were going to make it an Indian wedding,
Like if you wanted real flowers instead of fake flowers.
what about what about the fucking chick who wouldn't she wouldn't give the ring back?
that? The rings are paid for by the
But what did you
company.
think in general that when the fucking that whole when she went to Josh and he said, "Can I have my ring back?" She said no.
I think it could have gone either way. I think she should have gave it back, but I think she only said that because she knew he didn't pay for it. Because if he did, I think she would have gave it back.
I don't think either way, even if he didn't pay for it. I think it's illegal for her to keep it.
You could sue her because that's
It's only on a condition of
it's
the
like a
contract being fulfilled.
Yeah.
And so
You could
by not
sue her,
going through it, it's not a gift. It's a gift on condition of us getting
but
married.
it's not his ring.
But that's how much of a cunt she is that she kept the ring no matter what.
I don't
think you should do
like
that.
her at all.
And so, but it works
But
both
yeah.
ways. Not just the experiment, the personalities help too.
Yeah, and that's why I think there's some genuine parts to it because they have to put some sort of financial and emotional thing behind it. That's why it still
I get what you're
seems
saying.
somewhat genuine,
I
right?
get what you're saying. Well, but in a way, like why the personalities like help the show come along too is that I am not a fan of almost everybody that's been on Big Brother Canada this year.
Yeah,
I don't know how close, like as if you got a chance to watch any of this week.
not this week, no.
So, but last week who got kicked out. What's the last thing you know about
Is
Big
that
Brother?
Kuzi?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you know it was a double elimination?
yeah.
And then the brown-haired girl, that's very good looking, except for the stupid tattoo. That's
Oh
on
yeah,
her
that
fucking-
girl. Yeah, yeah.
right. And so, I mean, I've been so angry at these people. I don't know why. I mean, the only person left now that deserves to win is Ty, in my opinion.
Yes, even though he's kind of annoying, but
You remember going back to the way back when he was going to quit with the other
he
guy?
should have quit.
No, he never should have quit. Even then, and definitely not now. And so I'm not so annoyed at him with that, but that's a great social experiment and a good show I like that can almost get ruined by bad personalities.
Yeah,
Right? Like I'm never not going to watch it like didn't watch Love is Blind seasons, but I'll probably definitely watch the next. That doesn't make sense. Right?
yeah. You
I'll definitely watch the
will.
next. Technically, I'll definitely watch the next Big Brother or that for sure. But Love is Blind because
Yeah,
this one was so good.
yeah.
Technically, I might not watch the next F1 race if this next one is fucking shit too.
Oh man, I think this next one will be good.
Yeah. Anyway, so
But
what do
that
you
doesn't
think
make
of-
it. That doesn't
what do you
make
think
any
of Kuzi
sense
getting kicked
because
out?
you still watch basketball games when you've had crappy basketball games.
I had a
You
crappy
still
fucking
watch
hockey
the
game
Leafs,
yesterday.
Jay.
God, crap.
You
Speaking
still
of
watch
crappy,
the Leafs, Jay.
I hate watching them. I won $30 when they were down when they were up 2-0 last night.
Oh man,
I was like, it was like I just should have bet more. It was like for $5 I won $38 for the other team coming back, and it was.
you should have
I got
done
I got angry for fucking 2 minutes when it changed. You're right, but just like it's hard for me to decide what fake news is. We talked about this in a little bit. I know exactly what I watched.
Yep.
Tammy has to bite her. She won't say. It's like she accepts more of my irrational anger watching the Leafs in the playoffs because I'm watching and like just because I watch all the time, like momentum. You sense momentum. Like you can hit the post. Like last night, the Leafs got bit by a really good goalie.
Mhm.
The other goalie play. Your TikTok sportsmanship over there won't understand how
I never
good the other
watch
team
sports on TikTok.
or whatever. However you figure your sports.
It's called YouTube.
Oh, that, whatever.
It's called highlights.
YouTube's a dumpster.
Jay.
Oh, no, but my dumpster fire is YouTube. Sorry, I trying to figure out who built those pyramids. But you're right. No, I will keep watching it, and just like Big Brother, even though I
Yeah.
hated most of the people now, I'll keep watching it. And for some reason, like obviously, Kuzi was the only one that should have won this year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
whatever happened since then, but before she got kicked out, but she still had opportunity to annoy me.
Of course.
Right? Like I said, Tammy told me she doesn't play for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Like, it's not her fault. But the fact that
Tammy likes Kuzi.
in the same way not 100%.
Yeah.
She in the same way that I just said.
Yeah.
She hates Ty. The fucking blonde girl that's like back on Ty's, you know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
God, I think she's annoying too.
annoying too. Anika and Daniel C, like, what are they? They're
Floaters.
fucking hanger-ons.
Yeah.
So everything that Kuzi said about them in her lead up to leave, and they got butthurt about, they should have been. But you know what I mean? Like, it's also, I don't know. I just,
You know how it goes in Big Brother. Somebody's gonna figure out to bring a floater to the end.
So in the same way that I loved Kuzi as the best player to win, I also found reason to not like her. Like when she was contradicting in her everybody's a hypocrite. Well,
Of course,
and
it's
so
Big Brother.
and so why I liked Zach in the beginning and didn't like how he got targeted so easily, and he bitched himself out. Like
Yeah.
obviously he's not going to look good at all. And Ty just stayed, and that's going to almost get forgotten in time. But the what was I gonna say? But I wanted Zach to stay as long as Kuzi got to stay for at least, right? Because she did exactly the same thing as him.
I disagree.
but probably a better social way.
That's the thing. That's why I disagree, because I think Zach did it in a way that was too abrasive. It's Big Brother. You're in a small community where everything is magnified.
I think
right?
it's more of jumping the gun. It's too early.
No, because you could have played hard. You could have just played in a different way. It's never been a good idea to be in the HOH house every week, whether you win or not. That's not a good idea.
That's a good point.
So he was doing that.
That's a good point.
And so that's why he messed up. He became the target by just being visible too much. And you hear it all the time. People, smart players always say, you know what, this week I'm just gonna lay back, and keep quiet. He didn't do that. That's
a good
where
point.
that was his biggest failure.
Yeah, and you're right. At the time, you're right. Tammy would say the same thing too. That was what annoyed him about that too. And yeah, he definitely othered himself out there. I don't know. I guess
he thinks playing hard was always actually playing, but playing hard sometimes means pulling back.
And you have to get lucky too.
Yo, for sure.
But what's been going on?
Luck.
Without spoiling anything that's happening this week or whatever. I guess especially what you got to see, right? Like with the double eviction, like Ty is getting to do what he wants to. He's making the other people, by him making the blonde chick put her friend up.
Yeah.
Right. He's just
That
like,
was great.
that gets looked back.
And it looked like he didn't even hesitate to think that.
No.
I felt like he was thinking that once he won.
And so he's it's different because he's been he gets to be the player Hope wishes he was.
Yeah.
Right. He actually wins competitions.
Yeah. And what's left in the house, I mean, who's going to really beat him in anything?
Well, some of the things come in that, well, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, he might not have the best memory or something like that.
Yeah, there's some things, but almost you're always going to run into a physical thing where he's probably going to win.
And so in a weird way, okay, so
are you trying to tell me he didn't win this week?
No, I'm not saying that.
Because I saw you skirt what I was saying. You went over there.
What do you want me to say?
No, I don't want you to say anything.
I was just trying to think of what I wanted to say.
No.
How dare you not think of, I'm just thinking of what I want to say.
Sorry.
I appreciate Ty like that too. Like, again, and all the people that are there where Kuzi goes. The fact that Kuzi was so great at manipulating people, I don't know if I felt sorry for the people she was manipulating. I don't always do that. And I don't have love for Nika or Daniel C or anything like that, right? But the whole crowd, for some reason, whatever, Hope's youthfulness or fucking his optimism is bothersome to me. I don't know what it is. But his lack of, like, whatever. He out of everybody there, he recognized how bad of a player he was. Right? Like, and he's just genuine. Like, if you, out of all the bullshit TV shows, this guy cannot be anything but himself.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he has no filter.
I'm trying to figure out how he even made it on this show.
He's a personality. People are looking for personalities.
Yeah, that is why.
Like, he's not as, like, again, he's himself. He's like, it's diverse. You know what I mean? Like, he's like not.
But I'm sure there was better candidates. Like,
of course. Well, that's a decision. Talk about things like picking out, like, fucking what F1, like what should be 1 second, like who do you pick? Like, that's just like, does it become whatever, that random? I don't know, that's a whole different topic. But the so I'm an agreement, I'm agreeing with you that I don't even know what I was going to say. Agreeing with you, I'm not trying to skirt any questions. I'm not agreeing with you that I'm skirting any questions.
Okay.
I was just saying I was agreeing with you that playing too hard and not falling back, and Kuzi's social play was good. Her bad temper, for somebody who has a bad temper himself.
Oh yeah,
like her bad temper was not fun to watch.
No, she spiraled when something went wrong.
Yeah, and
her
she had no loyalty. She definitely should be loyal to number one.
Yeah,
but she was quick to turn on anybody. She could have been close to tie all game long, which is smart.
Yep.
Because both of them knew each one was a target.
I think she did that move. She tried to do that move a little too late.
I wonder, but it seemed that it was done like probably earlier than I thought.
Because she was trying to do it when they were before he won the veto.
I don't know why it wouldn't have been edited like on TV for us before that, but it seemed to me like this was almost like, look, we're not really going after each other. And her,
oh yeah, true.
Her talk about, and that would lead to the confusion to us that her talk of wanting to bullshit with him or like get him out to other people were just to endear her to those other people.
Yeah, but she wanted to get rid of her crew, Anika and Daniel C, in like a sneaky way, which I didn't think was necessary.
This is what
they were never going to win anything. Let's be honest, they weren't going to win anything. The odds of them winning was low. I can say it like that. And so I personally think if she really wanted to make the move, remember that feast, fatal feast?
Yeah.
Her first move should have been Ty, not Hope. If she would have done that,
you're right.
It would have been a completely different.
If I'm going to come out and be fully transparent here and be a fucking because she started to do the HOH thing, like what Zach did, but she did it later when it didn't matter. But she still got kicked out for it.
Yep.
And but yeah, you're right. In hindsight, that should have happened.
She would have gained loyalty with Claudia, and then she would have been like told those other two girls. Yeah, Claudia, those other two girls, like, listen, we're switching sides. Let's get them out. I don't like them. And it would have been numbers. Everything would have been completely different.
Ty and Zach had swithed places.
Yeah.
And because Ty's not a great player. Ty's a physical player. And
he's not
really
a good social
But he's not as good as Kuzi. But he's better than Zach.
Yeah.
So if Zach had Ty's social game, he would have convinced Kuzi to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they would have been like, hey, this feast thing's coming up. Because they all understand like what a double eviction's coming. This is gonna happen.
They didn't know the feast thing was coming.
Kuzi might have needed somebody smarter, just as smart as her, to help her figure that out. Because that's a great idea.
Yeah,
I agree in hindsight.
Kuzi thought Ty, what's his name? Hope was gonna be the physical. That's the only.
Because he fucking bowed down to her. He did all this bullshit, which is like because he's more of a showman. Like he's just you. It's not that he's just youthful and he has no filter.
Yeah.
He's like, this is when he came up with a guy with a crown, he 100% agreed 5 points. When they came up with the idea of the crown, Kuzi was like, oh yeah, that's my crown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they both agreed, but on totally different sides of the story.
But I do like, you know how, I can't remember when it started in the diary room, but I do like when they do sometimes I like when they do the thing. Like I thought the crown was cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, yeah. Because we've seen some dumbass ones.
Yeah. Most of them are dumb, right?
I'm just like, fuck.
That's hilarious. Yeah. So I'm not hating that too much. It's I guess next week is the last one.
Wait, what? It's already over?
Yeah. So how many people are left?
Claudia, Ty, Daniel C, Anika, and Rena?
Yeah,
Renee.
Yeah, it's close.
Oh yeah,
100% next Thursday. They have so. This is what I'm going to. What do you think of the non-live aspect of the show?
I didn't really. Oh,
you'd understand they only do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and none of them are live.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about it. Well, the only times I ever knew they were live is because they had an audience, and it annoyed me that they didn't have an audience because I like when they come out and there's an audience and they're doing it in front. But I remember being annoyed. I'm like, where's the fuck? Like this is. Oh my god, you're eliminated, and then there's nothing.
The American one is always live Thursdays.
What if they change that? Because Big Brother Canada used to be live Thursday. It's ever since COVID is when they switched it.
I know, but I doubt the American. They might. I think the American experience is more about the live part. Either way, I loved that they weren't live.
What?
I thought they made a better edited show. We might be more at the mercy of the editor.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. If you didn't realize it, I don't know how to ask you what you think is better. But I noticed right away.
Yeah, it's probably better, but live has that thing to it.
Without, because they don't have.
Does the audience add as much to the show as better time to edit?
They
has
don't
to
have the
show?
after, like they don't have the 24/7 feeds anymore.
Yeah, I know that's gone.
So they have, but they have an edited version.
Yeah,
And so I just think whatever. Again, you're at the mercy of the editors, but it just breaks the monotony of having nothing going on for 23 hours of a house. And it makes a better show. I liked it. I think it doesn't hurt it at all. Maybe I don't like it, but
yeah.
I wish it was on instead of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. There's nothing to watch. You know what I mean? Like it just bulks it up too much.
I liked the live aspect, but I can see what you're saying. I can see what you're saying.
But I was just wondering if you thought it made it better.
I don't think it made it better. I don't
If
think
you were the best editor in the world, wouldn't it?
you would love it.
Right? Like,
Like
wouldn't it just be
live?
like now you get to make the show more yours?
Yeah.
Um,
I can send out any kind of thoughts I want to send out.
so are you watching any of the sports other than F1? Are you watching any of the basketball or hockey?
No, I'm not even watching highlights of anything. Like if I see a goal, I like look at a goal or a dunk. I'm following it on the score, of course. I
Okay.
follow all the sports on the score.
Why do you go to the score at all? I go to
'cause
the
that's
score
just
for a
the
lot.
app I have.
No, but what do you go? Like I go there just for the story of the day.
Oh no, I always go in and look at like you know how you can pick like your sports, your favorite
Yeah.
sports, and they put them in. I just go through my favorite sports every day. I look at box scores, I look at all this shit.
You as a morning guy.
And then when I see like crazy scores, then if it's something crazy, I watch the whole highlight or whatnot. Like NBA puts out this one channel I watch puts out like a 10-minute highlight of the game. So sometimes I watch those, but F1's like the only thing I watch like live and regularly, religiously right now.
You know, it's totally random. I'm not really, it's not that he'll ever listen, but if he ever does, I know a little bit of an apology to Stephen A.
Really?
Because he does the basketball, like, and the round table of it all.
Yeah.
I never had hate for like being who he was, you know what I mean? To get where he was. But I think now he's where he's at. His opinion's never not always right. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't always have a point. Like he
Yeah.
can be wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but he's mostly right. He's mostly
A lot
decent
of
about his points. He's not always, he's so different than Skip Bayless.
Are you talking about like on his show? Or are you
No,
talking
I'm
during the
not talking
game?
about on the show.
Oh,
that's
okay,
different.
okay,
then. Maybe that's what it
okay,
is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because he's there with Wilbon, and I like Wilbon better on
He
PTI.
does know basketball. Like that's
what I'm
his
getting at. Maybe that's what it
specialty.
is.
He does know basketball.
Yeah, I really appreciate
Yeah.
his hat. So I'm trying to stay up. I'm cranky at work. You've had a fucking work. I'm going to make you talk about work related, maybe.
You want to talk about work?
Yeah, sorry, people.
Work?
We have no character. Well, we got characters. I don't even know
We
what we
have
got to talk about
characters.
people. Yeah. So when Stephen A's doing his work about basketball,
Yeah.
I shouldn't. I don't want to hate that. I guess is what I'm saying. Because whatever it was, I don't have a point. But it was just like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And whatever he was, he wasn't trying to call anybody out. I guess is what the whole point was. But fuck, man, I'm trying to stay up and watch LeBron. Trying to stay up and watch fucking like all that late shit. Even Connor McDavid. I make it to the second period.
Yeah. And that's it.
I'm boosting my money up, not just because of the least one, but like slowly but surely. By the time I go to bed, I go, if I cash out now, I win $5. They win $20.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, I'm down. I think last time I was bragging about how much I had. That was the last thing. So I'm just leaving all the numbers out because last time I'm bragging, but
You're just saying
I
I'm
dropped
down.
because the more you have, the more you want to bet.
Yeah.
And then I dropped, and it almost makes you not want to bet. And then so I've been just going up $5-10 at a time, and then you just start betting more. So I was 3 LeBron assists away last night for earning like $50 for nothing, like an extra.
And
50,
he didn't get it?
because they got blown out,
Yeah.
and he didn't have to pass the ball to anybody.
Yeah.
And he was shooting the ball really well at the beginning of the game.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know if your TikTok told you that or your score or wherever you get your scores. But they tried at the beginning. It's weird. Basketball's got such an ebb and flow.
Yeah.
You can't get caught up. That's almost what it's like. I'm addicted. Oh, that's random. You want to talk about the article you sent me?
Oh, you want to talk about the
No, I had
drug?
work shit. But what do you? Well, yeah, what you sent me? You sent me an article.
Yeah.
What was the article?
It was about a guy in Vancouver opening up an illegal heroin, heroin, cocaine.
And crack.
No, there was no crack on it.
On the menu is crack.
On the menu is crack?
Yeah.
Oh,
by the
shit.
point. By the point.
So illegal drugs, basically.
Yeah. Like, so you're right. It was heroin. And so he was defying society's law, I guess, or whatever, what we were talking about. And I was just like, oh. And I guess it came on the heels. So I read the whole article. Did you read the article or
No,
just the
I
headlines?
didn't. I only read
That's
the
hilarious.
first paragraph or some shit.
So what do you think of that?
I was at work and I saw it and I was like,
Yeah,
I'm
you
sending
did.
this to Jay.
That's a busy boy.
Yeah.
We'll get back to work real quick.
Thursday was actually kind of
Friday.
busy.
Double Friday. Look at
Double
you.
Friday.
Yeah, you triple Friday. We're going double time on Friday.
Yeah.
So what do you think of that before we go into work?
I thought it was stupid. And then this morning when I was on my way to do work shit, I saw another article that said he got arrested. Obviously.
Yeah, no doubt.
Obviously he was getting arrested.
You have to.
But yeah, so I mean, I thought it was a stupid idea
For the store or to arrest him?
for him.
Because you knew he was going to get arrested?
Of course.
So I did too. I don't think it's stupid in the same way. Do you think it was stupid for I said to you, I think 25 years ago, the same story happened, but just with cannabis.
Yep, that's what you said.
And it had to have happened that way. The
Yeah,
first
for
store was
sure.
opened illegally.
They still break down illegal weed stores right now.
They just made real weed like legal in Mississauga.
Yeah. Oh,
The
they,
second
they
big-
actually passed that?
Yeah.
Finally.
On 420. Was
Oh,
it?
they did?
Yeah, April 20th.
Finally. What a bunch of losers.
That's hilarious. And you think this other article is fucking not real. Or
Yeah.
not real or shouldn't happen. So
Yeah.
they were saying the same thing. The police have to arrest it because it is technically not right.
Yeah.
Those same police are letting that gas district go along.
Gas town.
Right? No,
It's
they're
on
letting
the end
people die off
Gastown.
of fentanyl.
Yep.
And so this guy comes along and says, well, it's legal so now it's decriminalized in, you know what I mean? Like in BC,
Yep.
right? Just like the same way weed, I guess, happened,
Yep.
right? It got great. So the first guy opened the store. Oh, we got to arrest you. Just like in Mississauga, the reason why they passed it is because fake stores were opening up,
Yeah.
just like they did with like back in the day. So this is the first of many that are going to come. Like,
I
so
don't know.
this guy's selling point was not that he just had cocaine. You have to give your ID,
Yep.
and you can only get 2.5,
Yep.
and it's been tested.
Yeah.
And so the guy walking out of his store could walk right beside the police
Yep.
with no arrest going
Yeah.
on.
It's illegal to sell it.
It's illegal to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just going to. He's now challenging the hypocrisy in the law, and so somebody had to do it. Like Rosa Parks again. I'm not going to the F words and all those, but Rosa Parks had to do what she did and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm not comparing it. Sorry, but
I
you
was
know,
about to say, I don't think this is gonna. I just don't see this being the same way as weed got handled.
okay, but if I can carry 2.5 grams of cocaine on me, then how can I get it? Like, how can you make it illegal for me to get it?
It's just you can't.
I know, but until it's just a law on a piece of paper.
Realistically, they only decriminalized it because they were locking up too many people, and that starts costing so much more money in courts and jails and stuff. They didn't really do it because they care that people are getting high or people are overdosing. They care because they're spending a lot of money taking people to jail over it.
I think that's a definite thing, but I think so. The only thing what makes it actually more serious to me is weed was just for fun.
Yeah.
This guy has an argument. Well, people are dying on untested drugs.
People are dying on those drugs, period.
I know, but they're dying more because they're on fentanyl, like on the fentanyl.
Yeah.
Like now, actually more. So I'm just saying the idea. Once you decriminalize the drug, then you just have to make the drug more available.
No, I can't agree with that.
Yeah, you can't. It's a
I
law
can't.
now.
I don't know. I'm fine with the decriminalizing. I don't care. I don't think people should get locked up. And it's only a certain amount, 2.5, right? I don't care if they take their drug and whatever, but for us to supply, it's like to supply, these drugs are way more dangerous than weed.
Way more dangerous.
Nobody has overdosed on weed.
I don't want anybody I know to ever walk into one of these stores.
Yeah. So for them to supply it, you're basically like, you're basically saying, well, I mean, 2.5. I mean, that guy kind of has a point with what he's doing.
But look
Right?
how good weed is compared to 25 years ago.
It's better.
And you know what your
The
little
whole
gummy's going to
industry
do.
is better.
No. But there's hardly any.
True. But does that stop the person from abusing it?
No. Their fucking mom and dad do.
Mm.
Their own, like, it's just the beginning of it. Would you rather like, again, it's more of a serious issue. People weren't dying from weed.
Mm-hmm.
People weren't getting taken advantage of from pharmaceutical companies putting, like, wherever fentanyl comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's easy to make fake fentanyl.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you know what I mean? Like, however that goes. So this is just a beginning. Like, I don't want a righteousness with, you know what I mean? Like civil rights leaders or anything like that. But we've decided that we can put whatever we want in our bodies. And like I said, I hate the chip aisle. I love chips, but I love them too much. I wish I could only buy a certain amount of chips per week. But unfortunately, that's up to me.
Yeah.
Right? You come to me fucking 8 months later and say, oh, I thought you were losing weight.
But that's fine that it's up to you, and that thing only works when you don't become a burden on the rest of society, right? So yeah, you can put whatever in your body, but then when we watch 600 Pound Life and these people are on disability and they're doing all these kind of things, but it's because of their own choices, and who's getting the repercussions from that? It's society who is.
Yes.
And when you get to, and that's the problem with the
Locking people up.
And the other side of it with the epidemic is that these people who die on the streets or zombie out on the streets, all those property values go down, right? Places become abandoned. People don't want to go over there, so there's no money in that community. Like, things just go downhill, and they dramatically affect the society that they're in. And that's the problem with it. Like, nobody, I've gone to places where weed is crazy, and those societies still thrive. Look at freaking our city has the most amount of weed stores concentrated compared to any other city around in this whole GTA. And our community thrives, right?
Nothing but.
And so that's the difference. If it started bringing our community down, I guarantee you that shit would be gone. City council would be getting rid of it.
Well, and that's why Mississauga. So I agree with everything. All I'm agreeing with, like, is just like, not for 100% regulation. And in a way, you're right. Like, making shit more available isn't the best thing. Like, in bad neighborhoods, they have the pawn shops and the liquor stores together, right?
Yeah.
And so you're just making the liquor easy to get. And so now liquor is cheaper to get. Like, weed becomes cheaper to get. Like, but just, and I'm only speaking for Canada, so I don't speak on the unregulated idea of putting liquor stores in every corner, right? Like I'm I guess all for government intervention on where and when you should have a liquor store. And but I also like freedom, and I'm talking about ultimate freedom with these drugstores.
True.
So I don't know where it goes. Same with, like, where get the gun laws. I think it should be regulated. Like, I don't know about guns. So you're right. I don't like the idea of turning a bad neighborhood worse with, like, a heroin store, right? Like, just like a liquor store. But who should I speak to who has to go fucking 4 blocks or 20 blocks to get their fucking case of beer?
Yeah.
And so, but the person that's going to get a Mickey every day, and drink their alcohol, like, well, how hard are you going to teach your son not to be that? And so you're going to do the same with cocaine. Like, just because they have a store does not make that right. Right? But, like, the people that, like, again, I'm making me defend crack. I just thought it's the first sign. It's a slippery slope of those stores becoming real.
I think it could go either way right now. I think we're at this tipping point where it's like they're gonna have to figure out what they think is gonna work realistically.
I think less people will die the more that they can get tested drugs into them.
I think more people will die.
Maybe at first. You think more people do weed now than they did before?
No.
So how could you think more people do cocaine than they did before?
I don't think more people would do cocaine. I just think people would do more cocaine.
The people that do cocaine.
Well, not even cocaine. Let's go to crack, because I feel like cocaine. Like I said on the show, I think cocaine would be. I think cocaine could be legal. That could be legal. Ecstasy, go for it. You know what I mean? Go to a club and go to the bar and get a freaking gin and tonic and get your ecstasy while you're going into the club. You know what I mean? But when it comes to, like, heroin, where people often overdose on these kind of things, I think those need to be way more regular. Like, it's not uncommon to hear somebody overdose on heroin, overdose on crack, overdose on fentanyl. But how often do you hear somebody overdose on cocaine? You don't really.
Yeah, I can't distinguish on what should be more regulated than what, or which drugs. But I'm coming into an idea that even with crack, if you just, like I said, this store, it had everything. So then you actually become the de facto place to go and get it. And so if 80% of your clientele can do it with no problem, and the 10 or 20% start to show themselves more and more, and the police don't have to concern themselves with them anymore. The 80% get out of the police's mind, right? They can just go look at the IDs of everybody, and they go, you know what? Joe Smith has been here every day, and Joe Smith is the one causing trouble.
Okay, so Joe Smith should have a drug credit score.
Yes, no, only if he's busting windows or fucking harassing people on the street.
Your credit score is a 1. We can't sell you any drugs.
I think Gastown whatever, exactly.
Right?
Well, just like being on probation.
You're a 7? Okay, you can get your 2.5.
So if you're a 1 in the crack world, you're not around long.
No.
That's what I mean. So they would weed themselves out really quick.
Jay, that's morbid.
But they're doing it to themselves now.
That's
people
true.
are dying. You're going to say they're going to die. This is why I think it's going to happen faster.
That's true.
Our hospitals are overburdened by people with their COVID. They can't handle, you know what I mean? Like, they let Gastown exist, so they're going to let this fucking corner store exist.
Outside of Gastown. But yes, basically
Well, whatever.
Gastown.
I'm sorry.
I know. I just
the
don't
Zombieville.
I don't want our
I'm sorry.
Vancouver
Shut up. My bad.
audience to be like,
Never Stephen A got today. Next week, I'll give you Gastown for my apology.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
That you thought it was interesting. You sent me the link.
Yeah.
We'll come back to this story when we see another store open.
Yeah.
Because just because he got arrested, somebody else is going to.
Yeah.
I only brought it up with just because it's against the law for you to sit at a certain fucking spot on the bus. One person does it, and then the next person does it.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, it's on social media, but there was no social media then, right? Like they got to suppress.
Yep.
That idea is still suppressed today, right? Like it's not. I mean, again, I'm speaking on all of everything. But it's harder to suppress ideas today, and so this will, you know what I mean? And then the police and the hospitals, they'll be the ones who decide. They'll either keep arresting these places. But, you know, on episode 200 or 2081 in 25 years, we'll be like, oh, you remember this conversation about the crack store?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So I don't even know what we were going to do after that or before that.
I think we're going to talk about work shit.
So you had to work today, you said.
I did have to work
today. This is Friday too.
Yes.
Did you go in? You've been coming in early and early lately.
Yeah, a whole bunch of bullshit I've been doing.
What's going on, man?
You want to hear about the bullshit?
You can go a lot of different ways, but why were you at work today?
Here. Today we were looking for new welding machines. We're trying to swap out the welding machines in the shop.
Yeah?
Yeah. So we went for a demo at Lincoln.
Tammy was jealous that you actually do shop. She wouldn't have been jealous of what you had to do.
Yeah.
But she wanted to do shopping on her own when she's working. So were you satisfied? Were you happy about doing this?
I mean, I was happy to do it.
Get some overtime?
Yeah.
Yeah? So do you all go in the same company van?
No, I went by myself. I went on my own. I drove there. I met them there.
You like left home to meet him at the building where it was?
Yeah.
And so big changes are coming?
Supposedly, yeah. So Jay's going to be losing his welder.
I am a welder.
No, it's his welding machine.
I don't have a weld. You don't weld anymore.
Yeah, of course. I strike a couple arcs a week.
Well, that's weird. That's so ancient. And you're not even real. You liar.
I struck an arc yesterday.
You fucking work with people anyway. So we've talked about working a whole bunch. Like we got lots of personalities coming in.
Yeah.
You got a lot. I wouldn't say higher ups, but like the office is expanding more than it's ever had.
Oh yeah.
We have like marketing things.
Yep.
We like half-assed talked about like them trying to expand the growth of the company.
Yep.
And shit's happening.
It is happening. I think it's starting to be an actual different time.
I said it once. You were like at the right place at the right time for having probably a respected opinion. Obviously, you're going shopping for fucking materials.
Yes.
And I mean, no spoiler alert, but you might even not just be a supervisor of the clowns that build our other welders.
Yeah, maybe.
You're taking shit over.
We'll see how that goes. Well,
they're considering you for the idea. You're like Becky Hammond. You're going to be like our next coach for the fucking Raptors.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I don't know.
But they're talking about shit like that, and they're bringing you more people.
Yep.
Like we don't even have to get into the types of people they're giving you. Like, God, man, RIP Baby Elephant.
The quality, I know, right?
That's insane. I don't know. I don't want to start there, maybe, but
let's start there. I have a new guy. I don't even really know his name. What is his name?
Get out of here.
How
dare you?
To be honest, I don't talk to him at all.
Why?
I just don't. I just do other things. Booby handles him for the most part.
Your right hand man.
My right hand man. Booby handles him. He does all the training. Realistic, he's not doing anything really, so
Quote.
I don't care.
Quote training.
Yeah, quote training. I don't really care what he's doing. He's doing freaking wheel chucks and freaking steps. Like, what am I gonna? I don't even do that shit. So how am I gonna train you to do that shit?
I think the only thing that can start the whole or join this conversation is that he's handicapped.
Jay, can I praise the guy first?
His welds look nice.
Let me
You
finish.
weren't finished. You
Yes,
weren't
I was
finished.
just getting started. So I don't even deal with his shit. Booby deals with it, right?
That's more on Booby than him.
Yeah.
Booby
so
gets props.
he has, yeah, absolutely. I
And
give
he's-
Booby props for it all the time.
Yeah.
And so this guy has experience, right? He said he was a supervisor. He's been welding for at least 10 years.
What was he building when he was a supervisor?
I don't know. He's shown me some shit. He showed like me and him and Booby were talking on break one time, and he was talking about how his old place, some shit about it. And he showed me something he built for his old work. And he's like, yeah, I built this and this. And it was kind of like something for like a press, maybe. I don't know. Kind of some steel shit, like whatever. And I think he's trying to prop himself up, trying to say like, you know, I can do these bodies, no problem. He has nice welds. The problem is you can't, what you showed me, you can walk around, right? You know what I'm saying? The bodies that we have, you have to walk around them. You have to walk on top of them. You have to walk underneath them. Like you have to do a lot more than circles. And so this guy is, he's
a nice guy, right?
He's a nice guy.
He works welds and he's
works
handicapped. We talked shit about all kinds of people. We talked about, but we
was
talked about
trying
this
to
guy
be
named
nice
Baby. I know
about
you were,
it.
so I'm sick of letting you talk, I guess. The fact that everything you said is right. I have no problem with him. The only problem I have is if any kind of my first impression of him is just like, why would you hire somebody that's not fully capable?
Jay, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, I'm a nice guy too, and I'm older and slower than I used to be.
You're not slower than him.
I'm not. That's how handicapped he is. And so I fucking see this guy get hired. And first of all, he's like, he looks like a nice guy. And so he walks not just with a limp like I'm going to when I get out of this chair, but he walks with a hunchback from Notre Dame fucking dragging his leg limp.
It is bad.
Yes, it's bad. And so it's like, wow, like I'm happy that you can stand up for so long. I only see him working for the last couple of hours.
Yeah.
I'm not I do actually, but I live with somebody who needs a walker.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like, he almost looks like he needs a walker, this guy.
Do you know, I found out yesterday why he's like that.
Oh man, my apologies. So why? Is he
I
like
didn't
that?
even tell you.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not handicapped by the way.
No, he had polio. He has polio.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I'm sure the kids called him worse than handicapped back in the day.
Yeah, definitely.
And so all I was saying when we made fun of Baby Elephant.
Yeah.
He was an older, fatter guy, whatever, that was complaining that he wasn't even going to go up the stairs to have lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And we made fun of him that, how could you even think of going a ladder? Like, you don't get to pick and choose what you build here.
Yeah, we did have this conversation.
Right? And it's like, well, you're a joke. Right? Like, first of all, your lofty ambitions, like, don't deserve, like, you're getting whatever parental, like, you're getting extra treatment for just building what you can walk around instead of having to go up this ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that guy we were making fun of is like, I don't know, like, how do you expect to go up a ladder? I don't know if he asked a specific question like, hey, is anybody going to help me get up and down this ladder?
You're not talking about Baby Elephant. You're talking
not
about
anymore, because I don't think he even asked that question.
No.
This Amen guy.
He asked if people would help him get up the ladder if he needs help to do the body. He asked if they would help him out doing anything, basically, that he couldn't physically do. He's physically challenged, but
I'm not trying to put hate on a physically challenged person.
No, I know.
And he does have his partner in our place. He can do what he can
do what he's doing now.
Yeah.
But that's one of my issues is that how much is he going to be content with doing just that when everybody else is doing what we actually do?
And what's really good, I'm just thinking now, is like, I don't have any hate for the idea of this guy kind of sticking around.
Give him a chance.
Or even what's better about him is he has zero ego coming out of him. I don't know how much you talk about it. From my perspective, he's not a sugar.
No.
He must have some sugar in him.
We
all
have,
do.
We have yet to see
it could come
his
out.
flaws.
And you're protecting yourself in a way by just making Booby deal with him to not have to deal with his sugarness.
Precisely what I'm doing.
Really?
Yes.
Because everybody has that, right?
And I've already told Booby, I said, if this guy fails, that's you, Booby.
Your boy Booby's killing it. I don't mind him at all, man.
No, he's doing a
fucking. I don't know
great
what
job.
he's. I don't know what he's like after everybody leaves, but
He's doing a great job.
and he could make him work for him.
I'm
He
fine
can
with
make him
that.
a Booby 4 or however
Yeah.
many we have now.
Yeah, I don't mind. That's good. Go for it.
But just like your buddy Ali said, is like we're like turning into Brampton like 2.0.
Yeah, they're hiring a lot of Indian people.
Yeah.
Specifically Indian. Like a lot of people have been Indian, which is good for the Indian people in our company. Because
Of
they all
course it
speak
is.
the same language. They all can communicate better. Like it actually works for them. You know what I mean?
Of course, it can only expand everything.
Yeah.
Like I mean, then use the pool that you have available to you.
Yeah, no, I think it's good, especially when you can give it all to. Yeah, I can't work with this guy because Booby speaks
That's
better.
hilarious.
Booby communicates better with him.
That's
so,
why it's good. Booby's in the right place at the right time again, just like you in this expanding thing. So
Yeah,
you are like you can go on a million different directions for your work expansiveness right now. You're shopping for work people.
yeah.
You're becoming the boss of everybody.
Our shop is doing 5S and lean,
What's that mean? People
We-
have no idea what you're talking about.
reorganizing everything
Oh my God, you must be in
and throwing
God's
out
heaven.
everything.
You are the type of guy that loves an good organization,
I
right?
don't mind it.
You're a cleaning type of guy.
Yep, minimalist.
You've probably been in so you've been having meetings about this shit for how long?
Yeah, for a couple months. We even got an email. I think they're organizing our, like you said, our office. We even got an email of like all the new hires in the office.
And we'll get to your emails in a second. The organizing going on is like it's long overdue in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but you said you guys have been through it before.
For sure. It's not the first time I've heard of 5S.
Yeah.
What gets me annoyed, and not that I'm annoyed at a barbecue cleaning person or whatever, but just the idea of like you're just doing this for a business. Not everything I
But
do.
it
is-
does work apparently.
Of course, and yes, it's got its place.
Yeah.
I just don't like whatever. It's just something annoys it. Like I don't appreciate all the goodness of it. I think my apprehension to change really like just drives me crazy,
Mhm.
or make myself drive me crazy. But I have this deep hidden. You see my mind in my house, deep hidden fucking love of organization too. Because I hated how everything was just kind of thrown in this area.
Yeah.
Right, like kind of
Yeah.
like where I work.
How have you been the past couple days?
Oh, it's just clean as day. The
Yeah.
Queen would fuck, or King Charles, or whoever the fuck is in charge now. They'd be fucking. You could eat off of it.
Yeah.
I hated the process of it. Like I knew I had enough respect for what I was working on. But when you guys all had to organize your shit around where I was working on, because this was all like in the area beside me.
Jay, I was right there. That must have been great.
What do you mean?
How is it not good having me this close?
I don't know. I guess I'm just not used to working with you. You were fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just the personalities that I don't want to mesh with,
Or
I don't want to mesh with,
Yeah.
are in my face.
like get out.
And I couldn't because I understand like all this like whatever insulation or filter shit was like in an area that usually I'm just leading all my other kind of material up there, right? But I also could argue like where do you want me to put my material, right? Like, and we've never just had that conversation. It's my also lack of desire to have conversations with people.
Mhm.
So I'm not, I'd like to make fun of you for those meetings that before this. So watching that go on, I'm just like, God damn, I gotta fucking comply with these people. So
Yeah.
I hated all that. But yeah, it's great. I have to be on board with all that.
Mhm.
Even you shopping for welders, like it makes sense to the practical nature. I'm trying to like stick my hatred of change into like, don't break what is working. Me and my welder are working just fine. I know it. Don't make me get a new one just for the sake of getting a new one for everybody.
Mhm.
But if I want to have this conversation 5 years from now, just like I will with the drugstore,
You're gonna be like, thank God.
why didn't they?
Yeah.
It makes more sense. We wouldn't have got to go to 15 million. I'm like, I can't make this like hypothetical jump from 5 or 10 to 25 or 50 without getting to 15 and 17
Mhm.
and 18 and 19.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all those steps. So
Yeah.
by them hiring, how gay it is to hire a marketer or something like that, or it makes sense. Why not? It's not my money. You know what I mean? Like just fucking do it. Like it might get somebody else's like attention. You know what I mean? Or for the company. And you being this organizer or whatever, you're in your comfort zone for that.
Yeah.
Being in charge of people, you're in your fucking control zone for that.
Yeah.
You don't mind that. Having knowledge of what's going on.
I like that.
Yeah, not like the more closed doors meetings that you can get a fucking ear to, you'll be right. Like
I just want to know what's going on. That's all. That's it. Just tell me.
and like ignorance is bliss, my friend. Never mind
Yeah,
the cute
for
girl on the
sure.
TV show. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
So is there anything about it that's annoying?
Sitting in the classroom listening to this guy drone.
That's hilarious.
That's very annoying.
You do that with safety shit too.
Yeah, I do. But I get to listen to Sean, who's kind of a good character.
That's hilarious. Yeah, Sean's always good. He's
Yeah.
going, I was going to get to golf. There's still a chance that I'm going golfing in 3 weeks. We're going to have a missed
Really?
episode in like 3 weeks. And,
Really?
yeah.
Are you guys like actively planning this?
Yeah, it's already in the works. And my buddy might come down for the 4th. But if he says no, then you're my next bug to do.
Really?
You don't have to impress anybody.
I don't know who
You
would
could
be-
pick up
who
your
would be
fucking
going.
Me, you, Sean, and Sammy. With a bunch of people I used to play hockey with. We'll talk about that later. All right?
Okay,
All right. You're in the works. We'll get you there. But hey, if you want to move up in the business world, you're gonna have to learn how to golf.
Learn how to golf.
A black guy who can golf, that's fucking like a unicorn.
Yeah, call me Tiger Woods.
That's right. Fucking they will. No, that, and you're to your
Oh,
face.
yeah, they
They'll call
probably
you
will. Hey, come on, Tiger Woods.
And so yeah, that's you're in your element, fucking be in control, doing all that kind of shit. The growing of the HR room and the marketing room, and to tie it in with fucking Love Is Blind with their gender role. You said that they had emails with your whole fucking gender reassignment or something like that.
Yeah, the pronouns, gender pronouns.
Did that come into effect?
I haven't seen it yet. They said they're making a system that will automatically change everybody's signature because we have signatures on the bottom of all our emails.
Oh, I see.
You've seen
Yeah, I've
them.
seen it. Yeah, Monday motivation.
Yeah. So they would say, Brian Moore pronouns, whatever my pronouns are.
They leave it blank until you fill it.
Yes.
That would be at first.
They're gonna automatically do it what it is, and you have to email them if you want them different.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So again, not to make this a bigger thought. So what is that? Now the real world's getting into our little.
Yeah,
Our little
that's
world here.
annoying.
It's a little annoying.
It's annoying. I think it's unnecessary.
I see what you're saying.
I don't think there was nothing. It's like with you with the welders. It's not broken, so nobody asked for this that we know of.
We're
Like,
coming
maybe
to
somebody did.
We're coming to the border of where your hate for change is coming.
Yeah, because like nobody asked for it. I understand change when it's asked for and needed. I don't understand change when it's unnecessary.
I think in a way, 100% I agree with you. I think in a way they're just like anticipating it. That's a kind of annoying thing. Is like
Yeah.
pre-wokeness before.
Yeah,
But you even said it in the second. If you would just hammer home that you know of,
yeah,
right? Like
that's true.
So if you just say, okay, if I knew that somebody did, then now what?
Yeah, I don't know. I still think it's stupid,
Yeah, that's fine.
but I guess
agree.
I have to respect it.
just
But like,
like me with a new welder.
if nobody knew, right? If nobody knew, then why are you asking for it? So
It's
now
a
you're gonna
society-
show everybody in your emails?
It's just, I get it. I don't
It's
get it.
weird.
But I think it in the same way of just a change way,
Yeah,
right? Like for you, for you to just wish for me, just like, you know what, and you're not. Just shut up, Jay. Just take the link, and who knows, you might like it in a way. I think of that for you in the same way. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Not that I'm on board. I'm just being
Yeah,
a
I
devil's
know.
advocate. Just like, yeah, I agree. But it's like I'm already full of road rage. We'll go another whole episode without me talking about road rage. But like, do you ever get road rage?
all the time.
That's hilarious. I
Yeah.
was going to guess like spoiler alert. So do I.
I got really bad road rage.
Road rage,
today.
that's
road
worse.
rage. That's probably what I'm doing. Road rage today, and Selena was just like, "Oh my god." I
damn,
was
you feel
very
that for me.
upset. Very
I
upset
fake shoot
today.
people with a fucking bazooka. Oh my god!
What?
Oh my god! I can't. You can imagine. I like. Go
I
so
just swear
angry.
a lot.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I
Yeah.
thought you were gonna say. For some reason, I thought you were gonna say no.
No, I get road rage.
You know,
I
you-
actually feel the anger when I'm on the road. Like I actually feel
let it
it.
out. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I just
yeah.
can't help it.
That's
You know what I'm talking about?
I do. I mean, all the time. I get fucking. I don't even want to get. I was
Oh,
gonna
man.
get bored with more examples of that. But but that's one of those things you just have to accept.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, it's fun to live. Not fun. It's fun to tell stories about the anger, but it doesn't really do you any good. You're actually going to go stop the other car, punch them in the fucking head. Steal, like that. Yeah. I'll think about it for a while.
I'll think about it, but then an old lady is not really. That's not. That's
What
not gonna
about
look
what
good.
about the fucking like? So mine was the last episode or last I'll remember talking about is I was in the right hand lane, eventually knowing I was going to turn down right on Derry. It doesn't matter to people, right? I was going fucking south, going to turn fucking west, and the it was a 2-lane road, and everybody wants to not be in the right lane for other people turning right before we get to the major intersection.
Yeah.
And I'll just stay there. I'm already been into
Jay, what the hell?
What do you mean? I'm not going to try to be the last cunt to turn into the right hand lane to turn right.
Okay.
We're going down Thompson.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to turn down right down Derry.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm just going to get over now.
Yeah.
Right? Like it sucks, but a lot of people stay left. Right? Again, I have no compensation or if they're in a new neighborhood, but you can just tell the people that are just like, I'm going to cut this off. Oh, I can get in front of you again. So,
oh, you mean like that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No. If
That's
there's like an accident, somebody wants to turn in front of me and there's open, like, I'll stay there. I'll wait for the people turning right or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll be patient enough.
Yeah.
But the people that aren't patient enough,
and they try to cut up.
Yes.
Yeah, that's annoying.
So if I get to a certain point, like you want to talk about F1 and like penalties. So, so I love when somebody wants to be there and I can just coast beside them and make them go behind me.
Yeah, me too.
Right? When I'm that person, I'll do whatever. I'm so righteous since I didn't put myself in that position, which I've probably done a million other times. But anyway, I came to this one and I'm like, okay, well, I know you're going to turn right eventually. I know you want to get in this lane, but like, whatever. This is my spot, and I'm here. And then so he wanted to come, or she, whatever it was, sorry. And I'm like, okay, well, this is my spot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and they turned their indicator on, but I was so in the right hand. And I was like, well, it sucks to be you. But eventually they just kept turning. Oh, they were way more aggressive than me. They just fucking came. And like, we're like right there. They came like this. And I'm like, wait. And I'm like, I don't want to get my car hit. And I'm like, they can't. And I had no choice. Like, I could either really possession this. And I'm like, I'm too old now. I'm just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And I was so mad.
You lost your mind?
I was, but I tailgated them so bad.
Yeah.
They stayed in there for like, I was yelling at them and swearing at them so bad. Way worse than the Leafs, babe. Sorry, you're in the story. You can turn off now. We're almost over. And I'm like, you fucking cocksucker. Like, I was probably more mad at myself for letting them do it. Whatever it does, my road rage fucking hits so high. So we stayed in the right turn lane for fucking ever.
Yeah.
And I'm like right on them. I hope they have a fucking camera. Like the worst of a different version, a person that I've done before, for sure stuck my fucking hand out, gave them the finger.
They were probably looking in the rear view like, shit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, see, that's the problem. Depending on who the other person is, I could get beaten up probably 9 times out of 10, but they look at me and they go, oh my God, I probably shouldn't have got that person mad.
Eyes straight.
Yeah, I look madder than my bark's worse than my bite. Let you get bit. But and they turn on Derry, dude, and I fucking followed them. I fucking followed them.
Yeah.
Like as I'm doing it and liking whatever, I'm just like, how far am I going to take this? Like, what am I going to do?
How long did you take it?
A couple more blocks.
Well,
no, before the next block. Okay. Maybe one block. Like
one very big block.
Like the next, the big block.
Yeah, it's the big block.
Whatever. But I was just like, fuck. And then just like when I got into an accident that was probably more my fault on the 401 ages ago. We talked like a whole other time. Mm-hmm. And it seems like a lifetime ago. And ever since then, I've slowed way down driving. Yeah. It's just like, it doesn't make sense. I still get mad at slow drivers, all that. And just like, it made me more realize like, whatever, right? Like whatever, try not to be the worst driver in the world. So,
yeah.
But yeah, road rage is hard.
Yeah, it is.
I wouldn't have been surprised if you said, nah, I never really let me down.
No, I'm a road raging motherfucker.
That's crazy. Well, you got to let it go.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, I'll let it out. I'm not going to let it go.
I don't know what else you got, man. That's fucking hilarious. You almost looked like you were interested in golf there for a second.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. It would be fun. Like, it's a
very less than 50% chance that my buddy can make it. So we would have a fourth. It's Friday. It's like on the 26th.
I would.
You wouldn't have to impress anybody, Brian.
Well, I don't know, man.
We would not have to impress a fucking thing. You could hit your ball into the trees each time, or do whatever you think is not good about you, and you could just pick it. You know what I mean?
I'm not even gonna hit the ball, Jay.
Well, we'll be hitting the joints and the fucking beer carts. That's out there. So fucking save up.
I don't drink or smoke,
man.
Well, no. Technically, I cut back on drinking. And
you get secondhand smoke in this room.
Yeah, I do get secondhand smoke, on drinking, but I do edibles. So I mean, I don't know. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But technically,
are you excited about the expansion of our work? Like, does it make you? You know what I mean? Like, is it not that you were about to leave a couple of months ago or so, you know what I mean, or whatever, but you were like, you had the 7-year itch or 2-year itch.
Personally, I think that if we're not expanding and doing better, then we're just going to eventually fail. I feel like it doesn't make any sense to stick around in somewhere that's just going to stay the same the whole time. For sure, there are things I like about our work that I don't want to change, but I also don't want our work to become obsolete and we all become out of a job. Which is why it frustrates me so much when we deal with certain people that come to our work and they just don't feel like that the place that we're in needs to, they feel like, I don't know how to put it, but they just feel like the place owes them something, which in some cases they do, but not really to new people, right? And they don't owe the company anything. It's a hand in hand thing. We do our best and to give them what they want, and they freaking employ us, and they give us a lot of leeway, which some people don't. I guess because some people have been here for a while or they've been here a long time, they don't, which is the same thing. They don't realize how much the company freaking is lenient towards us compared to a lot of other companies out there. Every place I've worked at.
No, it's you're 100% right, and I agree with you in the way that, and also me included, you get grandfathered in.
Oh yeah,
like it's not a thing. Like we're all been grandfathered in. We all actually don't realize how much change has gone on around us.
Yeah,
right. Like before you know it, they come to an email thing.
Yeah,
right. Like before you know it, like all of a sudden we're out new welders. You know what I mean? Like it seems silly in hindsight, and it's accepting that change. And I agree with you. I get mired in the non-change part too. Like before I went on air complaining about my welder getting changed, but I just have to accept it.
But that's the thing. I know that you will probably accept certain things because you know you can reason with yourself. A lot of people will not reason with themselves.
No. But you, like, for yourself, in the way that not staying in a place that didn't exist. Like you left the airport, you left other things. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're not here just to be a welder.
Yeah.
Like I did for my whole life. So that's exciting for a guy like you.
Yeah.
To be part of that change.
Yeah.
Right. Like I even told you you want to do AI producer, like AI fucking supervisor. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like you're not going to get bad ideas from ChatGPT. Like it's not, you know what I mean? Like you're the type of guy that'll embrace that shit.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I just figured that's a good place for you to be. You know what I mean? Like, and seeing it go. So it's got to be exciting because you don't care that we just build trucks.
No.
You like the idea of doing what we do better.
Yeah.
Like whatever this lean is, the 5S is more cleaning up the areas that were like under the stairs around me.
Yeah.
Where the doors just got stored. Like other bullshit. Sorry, I'm off the mic.
Like shit that will, like shit that bothers me naturally. Like you said, you know, I would like the organization shit. Like, who doesn't like shit to be organized, not in your way? Who doesn't like shit to not be in your way?
So I'm more skeptimistic.
I like that.
I'm sort of skeptimistic about the.
I like that. I don't think that's a word, but I like it.
I'm skeptimistic? No.
Skeptimistic?
Like too many edibles. It's not the edibles, it's not the cheese.
I'm so making that the title. Skeptimistic.
It's not. You don't have to be skeptical.
No, fuck that, Jay. Fuck that, Jay. What are you talking about?
Because I'm more skeptical about the fucking like the lean part, right? Like changing how we do things.
I don't think they're going to.
No, but they're not. I'm more grandfathered in than I know, or even to the acceptance, or before I know it, it'll be more changed. Like I'm complaining about how we're building these crane tower trucks that nobody cares about, but just like
you've been through change already.
That's what I mean. Like, and I'm. More than others, I am even when I'm trying to convince you of emails and shit. It's like I actually am more accepting to it.
Yeah,
I just like to rage about it for a while.
There are some, that's okay. There are some people who don't want the change at all, who just be like every sort of change. And I always say it to, I say it about welding machines in general. Like we went shopping for welding machines, and like a lot of older welder people hate new technology. We were talking with Ryan, and Ron was there, and he was talking about the new welders and Ron was like, I don't want it to do anything. I just want it to run a bead and whatever. That's all good and well, but you and I know the benefits of a pulse welder compared to, imagine like the last place I worked at, they had no pulse welding and we were welding all thin gauge. You know how much of a chore that is?
Compared to now that you know how is it?
Exactly. So it's like the new stuff, the change can often be good.
I compare it, and I agree. And I compare it to when I was playing hockey. Like, you know what goalie masks look like now?
Yep.
Remember, they used to never wear goalie masks.
Yep.
And they
I was just talking about this yesterday.
And it took me forever to get. I didn't even want, because I thought, oh, look at those fancy fucks, those F words that would get their painted mask. But I actually love it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like secretly, oh man, I could get like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh no, a real man gets hit in the face with a puck.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's such a stupid thing to say.
Yeah.
That's your title. A real man gets hit in the face with a puck.
Yeah, that
right?
is.
Like, so fucking, I don't, but that's, you learn to accept the change.
Yeah.
Right? And I see it. It's just so fun to easily mock people who accept change.
Because you're skeptimistic about it. You don't think it's going to happen.
So
I love that. I'm not even lying. I actually love that word. I'm so using it.
Well, I think I'm going to say
I
the
might
rest
even
of the words.
claim it for my own.
There, you can. You can. Fucking thief. That's what people, the higher ups,
right.
they take us low types ideas
Oh,
and
yeah.
they take their own and jump the ladder.
So during this cleanup by your area, we were all talking and they were like,
I wanted to
they were
set up
like,
fucking Spark and catch your
No,
shit.
Jay,
I wanted
come
to.
on.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, as you
so
clean up.
they were putting up the big welders, and I was talking to Dave Downs, and Dave Downs is like, what are they gonna do with these welders? I said, well, these are like, most of them, they're really junk, but some people want to keep them around. I don't know why. They should just say, let's get rid of them. Because
you talking about me?
No, I'm talking about
big welders,
our boss. Our boss.
No, I thought you meant big welders.
No.
A big welding machine.
People,
Oh, okay.
machines.
Sorry.
And he's like, I'm like, we're going to get this out and it's all going to go back in there. He's like, why don't they just put them under the stairs? And I said, that's a good idea. So then everybody convened and we're having a group thing. And then, and I told him, I said, I'm going to steal that. And so he's like, okay. And then they like, so, okay, now that we cleaned up, where are we going to put these things? Like, where are these welders are going to go? I raised my hand and said, I have an idea. We should put them under the stairs. And everybody's like, that's a good idea. And they're like, yeah, that's a good thinking. I look at Dave and he's like, but he gave me a fist bump. He's like, yeah, okay. I was like, I told you I'm taking it. I was like, that's a great idea. Put it under the stairs.
Oh my God, you're never not the politician. I got nothing more, man. I'm done.
Well, I want to thank everyone for listening to the work-related podcast.
I hope I got some good Leaf news or something, at least on Twitter for at Related by Work on Twitter. But
Yeah.
another banger, my friend.
Yeah.
See you guys next week.
Come on.